Hey, I'm here in the studio today with Zakk, our second guest in the series of interviews, and this is the coach of Immortals, and just coming off a pretty tough group stage exit at Star Ladder. But before that, I want to talk about you. So, first of all, how you doing?
Everything good, man. Everything
Yeah.
all right. This place is beautiful. I've never been to a studio like that.
Yeah, all right, great to hear. So, so you actually were a player. I want to ask you this. So some coaches in Counter-Strike, really bad. Do you feel that way as well?
As a player, you mean? The
No,
coach?
just I feel like them as coaches, maybe, and I wonder if it's because they didn't play CS:GO. Do you think it's important to, as a coach, to have played CS:GO?
I think so. But at the same time, I don't think that any coach figured how to coach a Counter-Strike team. Because there's no one in the world that you can say like, okay, let's hire this guy so he can improve our team.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever figured it out how to coach a Counter-Strike team. It's kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
I have my own method. Luis Peacemaker has his own. Zeus has his own. It's everybody coach different.
Do you think there's a best way?
I think mine is the best way.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that.
Because I try to make my players not only inside the game feel comfortable outside of the game. So I always try to do meetings with them to see what's the problem they have, what they want to improve, what they think is right, what they think is wrong. And based on their answers, I found a solution. And that's pretty much about it. I also try not to, because we have an in-game leader.
Yeah.
I try to work with him, the things inside of the game, not with the team.
Yeah.
Like the in-game leader, he has his own thoughts on how he wants to play the game, how he wants to approach a situation.
Yeah.
If you try to understand everybody has a different point of view. So if this guy is the in-game leader, I have to work just with him to make his point of view get better and better.
You're a player. You played Counter-Strike. Is it how you met Immortals, playing against them in a tournament? I mean, I know you played for a very long time, but was it in CS:GO that you actually met some of these players from Immortals? So the tournament was it was a Games Academy, hosted by Games Academy, and then I remember you like had lost them in the finals, I think it was.
No, it was like this. I used to play on 2012,
Okay.
a long time ago, CS:GO, with Kogu, ZK, who was a former Luminosity, and I played with Fallen in the same team. We won a tournament, campus party in Ecuador, and then I had to stop because by that time there was no money involved in the game, and I had to work.
Yeah.
My life is very different from every Brazilian Counter-Strike player. They all have like a family support to play, and I didn't have. Like it was hard for me. I have to pay the bills of my house.
Yeah.
My dad was retired. My mom didn't had a job, so I had to work to pay the bills. So I had to choose between Counter-Strike or work. It was a really tough decision because I was playing with Fallen, which is like a god in Counter-Strike for Brazilian. It's like a dream, and I had to say, I have to quit.
Were you worried? I mean, you couldn't know that esports was going to grow so much. If you had known that, in like 2 years, people would be getting some salaries, some bigger prize tournaments. Like you're talking about a time where tournaments you'd win like $500, right?
Yes.
So obviously you can't live on that. Did you have like an extra year to go, or was it just so pressing that you like paid those bills, so like you just couldn't take any more time?
I couldn't take anymore. I was 21 by that time. I didn't start my university yet, so the time was passing by, and I was playing Counter-Strike without, a goal for my life.
How much did you love playing Counter-Strike? It was like,
It was the most important thing for me. Yeah, it was the most important. It was a really tough time in my life.
so for a lot of people, playing games is a good way to escape problems and just have a separate life,
Yes.
So did you still keep in contact with the people that you played with?
I stayed in contact with Dad, Ricardo, SK manager, and some of my friends like Zero a little bit. From the persons that are here, ZKK the most, which he was like a big friend from mine. We played since I was 18 until I was 22 together, and we traveled to a lot of places. Still the same, still playing in the same team as me. We travel a lot together. So I keep in contact with the persons that were my friends. Just did.
How did you get to Steel becoming the coach as the kind of newest pickup for Immortals? Was that part of your, or sorry, Steel becoming the IGL? Was that part of your decision, or did the team?
Actually, everybody agreed that he had to be the IGL because he's the most experienced guy. He was in IGL in Luminosity when he was playing, and he's a smart guy, a calm guy. He always gonna try to understand what you have to say to him. He's never gonna be mad or shout at you, you know. So he's the perfect person to be the IGL.
Would you ever think about coming back to playing? I mean, it's a question that coaches get a lot, but you're very relevant up until recently.
I actually tried in 2015. I tried to make a comeback, and they invited me to play in Portugal. I was playing with Phelps in the same team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the game changed a lot. By when I used to play, there was not a pop flash. You know, you can throw a flash with the right click.
Oh yeah, that's
so
huge.
Everything changed. Every map changed. The recoil changed. So if I think I want to play again, but I think it's too late for me right now, to be honest.
I noticed, like, if you take a long break, it's happened a lot. Kogu, Fraud, famous operas, they took a long break, they came back, they could not figure out how to play. Like, I think Kogu's doing a little, he's still playing though, right?
Yeah, he's in US right now.
Yeah, so doing a bit better than Fraud ended up, this little complexity run. But that break is really tough. What's the hardest part about trying to figure out the game after you've taken the break? I wonder this. So I wonder, do players come back and they have like, they were so good at one point, they beat everybody. So do they have a hard time changing how they were because they were so good at what they were doing? They don't want to like learn again? Is that part of the struggle?
I don't know. My trouble was lacking of confidence because when I stopped to play, I was with the best players. I was beating the best players in Brazil too, like Calzira, Fer, Taco. And when I came back, I couldn't beat even the top 5 from Brazil. So it was hard to see that. Players that used to be my fans, they used to come on my friends in this team and say, yo, what's your resolution? What was you using? They were beating me now. So I was getting frustrated,
That's so good.
It was hard.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I couldn't handle.
Oh my God, that's so funny. It's like that photo of Cold Zero with Fallen, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
When he was just like this happy to see Fallen, like meet him for the first time. So that happened to you too, right?
Yeah.
So so the confidence, you couldn't get it back. So is that because you had like this like expectation for how good you should be?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you think now that you have new perspective because you've been coaching for a while, you're like really part of the game? Do you really feel like you're part of the wins and like part of the game and like what happens in a match?
That's a tough question because after Valve changed the rule, I'm not sure if I feel so much because we can prepare for a team. We can pause and say a little bit of stuff. But it was different when I was playing DreamHack and we won the tournament against NIP. I could speak all the time, and I was speaking unstoppable. I was giving information all the time because my players have like Henny. He has a really tough problem that when he's too concentrating, Alping, he doesn't communicate how many guys he's seeing on his screen. So I was behind him saying, "There's 3 guys on E-box. They're going that way, blah, blah." But without me communicating, that changed. And I think just by communicating, I was making like a huge part. By preparing for strats and stuff like that, people change a lot inside of the game. So I don't know. I think I am part, but not bigger than before.
Yeah. So do you really like hate that, like resent that rule?
Yeah, I hate that rule.
Do you enjoy coaching? Is that
Yes.
a weird question to ask? You enjoy coaching? Is it fulfilling?
Yes, it is.
Yeah?
I like it.
Is it better than playing?
No.
No. I'm not even sure that's controversial. It's a given, especially for people who have played. But it's still great to be I mean, you tried to make the comeback. You feel like it's a better decision for you to coach. So, what are some things that you like more about coaching, if there are any, that you don't get from playing?
The things that, sorry, can you
Anything
make
about coaching that you actually kind of like more that you don't have to deal with as a player?
I don't think there's one thing.
Really, yeah.
Being player is the best thing.
Yeah.
It's the
What if
best.
the rule wasn't? What if there was no rule?
I think I would prefer to be a coach without a rule.
Mm-hmm.
With a rule, I think I prefer to be back playing, to be honest. But it's like I said, we can prepare a lot. I can teach them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. By the end of the day, they have to click the mouse and hit the shots, or we're not going to win.
How much do you feel like, so then with the rule, how much do you feel like how much impact do you feel like you have now?
I think it is hard to say, man. Like, it depends on the team. Sometimes, like my team, and they know that, sometimes they hear me. Many times, like, I'm going to give an example. When we played the American Minor, the finals against Cloud9 in E-League, I paused the game and give them instructions on what were they doing, what we should do.
Yeah.
And they listened,
Yeah.
and we did. Worked perfectly.
Right.
Right now, sometimes when I paused, I don't know why, because maybe I don't know, but sometimes when I pause and I say they are doing this, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
They prefer not, sometimes they prefer to think about something else.
Oh, I see.
I don't know why, because the things changed a little bit in our team. When they hear me, everything works just perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
When they not hear me, they had, sometimes it works, but I don't know.
Do you think something like Astralis got their sports psychologist to get everybody focused and like clear and on the same page and working together? Do you have something like that?
No, but we definitely need it.
You definitely need it, yeah.
We do need it.
Yeah. I personally think everybody should have a therapist and just sit down and talk with someone and flesh stuff out. So I guess, you guys just had that tough group stage exit at Starladder, right? And obviously must have been kind of rough after that. But what happened at Starladder? Why did you end up... CLG had kind of a miracle run, and so they were playing a lot better than they probably will, to be honest, for a while. I mean, hopefully that results in more consistent results, but you would say, Immortals definitely the favorite coming into that match, right? Mm-hmm. Was that a problem of this, what you're talking about, where it's like communication between you and the team not working together properly, just people missing shots? What happened?
I think that it comes back to the psychologist thing you said. They knew that match was very important. If we lose that match, we are out.
Yeah.
And it was an opponent that they always beat. We were 7-0 against CLG before that game, if I'm not mistaken. So they knew that we should win, and when they start to lose rounds, they start to be afraid of CLG. And our team, it works like this. When we are confident inside of the game, when Henny wants to do like a crazy thing, or I don't know, like boats, when he wants to, can you please flash? I'm gonna pick something. If they stay just in the side, like afraid of things, we always lose. That happened against G2 on the E-League qualifier, the major qualifier, and happened against CLG too. Mm-hmm. They were hitting the shots. Our team started to be scared of them, and we couldn't stop them.
Were you guys always like this, or were you? There was a thing about Immortals choking. People talked about that. There was a period, and then they got over it. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the best memory. DreamHack Summer, I think it was a really good run. You guys actually.
DreamHack Summer, we won.
You won, that's right. You had a streak. You won. You got like second in DreamHack Austin, or you won it?
Second.
Second, okay. So come to me. And then a tournament in between. And then that's kind of when you came over that period and everyone stopped talking about choking. So the mentality there must have been a lot stronger, yeah?
I think so. To be honest, like, it depends, because our team, we don't choke like we did before. Like, when I came here, the first tournament I saw them play was the major qualifier on July 2016. They couldn't handle any pressure at all. Like it was funny to see. Yeah, because their hands on their mics were like this.
Really?
You see? Right now, they grab it like this, the mic.
Yeah.
They are confident on what they are doing. But when they start to lose a match they are supposed to win, they start to choke. That's the only problem we have right now.
Gotcha.
When there's like a big, like important match, and they think, okay, we have to win this, they play bad.
I think some of the analysts talked about how when Henny gets very animated and very loud when you guys are winning and on a roll, and this is actually before when people were trying to figure out what the choking thing was about. But do you think that plays into it, that people are getting too excited for things that are good and then not, and then too down on themselves when things are bad? It's like not just even enough.
Yeah. Actually, we tried to make Henny stop screaming.
Oh yeah.
When we were winning, everybody on one game, I don't remember what. Oh, flip side. What's flip side on a league major qualifier? We said, okay, this game let's try not to be so loud, because when you're up, we are always like, let's go, screaming, and when we're down, we start to get quiet, and at a point we are just totally silent in the TeamSpeak. So we tried to do like without screaming, and it didn't work out. So we just started. Okay, guys, let's do our thing. If you want to scream. If you want to shout, just don't offend the other team.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah, sometimes that's good. People watch the game and we don't get enough of that real life emotion. So it's nice to watch, I think. But do you think experience is the best medicine?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure, we have to play a lot more of LAN events.
Another thing about Star Ladder. So guys played Cobble twice. Once versus UIA, and then the other time versus North. And one thing I noticed I was watching the demos was that on CT, you guys had a rough CT side. Even versus UIA, you got like kind of half the rounds. They just kept executing B over and over again, and they had a good execute. Would you say that sometimes when you play a new team and they have like a certain execute, it can work for a while, right? And then you can figure it out, and then you get better at it. But then even versus North, really bad CT side, and a lot of it happened at B as well. Was it just something specific about what the teams were doing? Because when I was watching, it felt like people were very lost in the B site. Or your rotators were lost. It seemed like guys were moving around too much. Is that what you noticed as well? What was your perspective on that?
I noticed. The funny thing is, like, against North, they have a B execute with the smokes on the fontaine in that area. Mm-hmm. We have the same. We copy from them, the same strategy. We knew that they would came with that strategy.
This is so great. Because what was the half 13-2? You guys lost.
Exactly. So we had the same strategy. We cop every single smoke, every single pixel.
That's how you know it's good.
And we know that they would use that every single time on eco. And we had prepared something. We talk before the game. We say, okay, they have that B strategy. They're gonna overdo that. They're gonna do all the time this. Okay, let's do a flash and go out of the smokes, and that's it. Mm-hmm. When the game started, no one couldn't do anything. It was so funny to see. And the 5 power, they had the same strategy. Actually they saw our demo. I saw that they saw our demo and say, okay, they are losing this strategy. They did the same thing that North did, and we couldn't hold.
Man, I'm sorry for laughing, but that is hilarious.
It is.
Just because, like,
it's okay.
I mean, that's how you know it's a good strategy, huh? Like, what did you learn after that? What did you talk about? Like, what do we do versus this execute?
Yeah, actually, after the tournament, we found a way to counter it, which I'm not gonna tell, because if someone is watching, they're probably gonna do the strategy all over. So we're not gonna tell.
Oh man, that's so funny. And then so that was it about Star Ladder. So it was like a 3-2. Is it hard to think about it like a 3-2? Is it just a 0 or a 1, like a loss? Is that what it feels like?
It is a loss.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you won 2 games or it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Lost.
So what's next?
Next, we have DreamHack now.
DreamHack, yeah.
Yeah, we have DreamHack Austin, which is gonna be really hard. So we are preparing ourselves to reach at least the top 3. Because in Poland, I am Katowice. We played really good. We beat North easily on cobblestone, and in Kiev we saw that they destroyed us. So we came to a point that we're asking ourselves, what the hell is going on with us? Like, we just played a hell of a good tournament,
Yeah.
and we came here and got off in the group stage.
Yeah.
You need consistency, you know?
Yeah.
We need to know what we were doing in Katowice to keep doing like that. So we need to prove ourselves. That's it.
So everyone's putting in the time, the death match, the matches, the play time.
Yes.
Yeah. So just I need that little bit extra. What's
I think that after Katowice, we maybe relax a little bit. You know, no one was putting the right amount of hours on Counter-Strike.
okay?
But after the loss, they woke up to their life.
Thanks so much for the interview, and for more coverage just like this, check it out right here on Yahoo Esports.